So that was the E minor arpeggio, played Tirando, and this time you can play this one PIMA. That's a suggested fingering for this one. You can play them across the D string, the G string, the B string and the E string, or the way I played it to start with. I used the B string and I used the B string for the E note as well, and I fretted it. So there's two distinct ways that you can do this. So the first one is just basically playing the E on the second fret of the D string, playing that with the thumb. Open G with the index finger. Open B with the middle finger. Open E with the A finger. Or if you want, you can fret the E on the B string. The advantage of fretting the E on the B string is it gives you a little bit more control over those two notes, and it saves you an individual damping motion. Because if the finger's going down on that string, it's going to dampen the previous one anyway. It would be a bit like if you took, you played all the notes on one string. That would solve your dampening problem, but obviously it would create another problem in moving the hand. So this generally fits in the area of how you're going to finger the music. So if you watch any number of guitarists, you'll notice the guitarists might play the same tune, but they might use different fingerings. And this is why, because there's a compromise between moving up the neck. There's a tonal advantage for this because there's consistency of the tone of the string. But what you gain in tone, you lose in maneuverability, because there are going to be restrictions in how fast you can play a certain series of notes. And this is why, really, when you're taking any kind of exam or you're just learning the basics, the whole idea of learning the basics is the basic positions, making it as simple as you can for yourself. There I did all my dampening with these two fingers. There, wherever I played a note, I dampened it with the finger that I played it with. So you can, as you become more experienced, you can find other ways of controlling the notes. And this is why grade 1 scales and arpeggios really will help you with your technique, because it really sets the foundation for how you're going to go about articulating the music that you wish to play. And it doesn't matter whether you wish to play classical music or rock music or jazz. It won't make any difference. It's all about the execution of the notes and how accurate you can be, and playing with an appropriate tone, at an appropriate speed, with a sense of musicality, hopefully. And this is the first exercise in the grade 1 scales and arpeggios that uses the A finger. And sometimes in other scales, you can practice your other scales using IA rather than IM, or you can go IMA or AMI. So the arpeggios is a really good way of starting to get to use this A finger, the ring finger. And if you're not that confident using the A finger, one of the good things is just to see if you can play using the A finger on the prescribed note. So here we've got an open E, and just keep playing the E and see if you can find a really good tone with it. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to move the finger in such a way that you're creating the same vibe as you would do in your I and M movement. And this all is down to how comfortable you are. Some people are much more comfortable with their thumb, They're okay with maybe their index finger, maybe not so much with the middle finger, and even less with the ring finger. And so this is an opportunity to strengthen up that ring finger and develop the tone. So hopefully when you use the A finger, you can get a consistent tone from when you've just used the middle finger. If I switch MA, you're just trying to find some level of consistency, and that's to do with nail length, also the angle of attack. So you want a nice relaxed style. You don't really want to be crossing your fingers over, or just really want a nice relaxed hand. And it's the same with this side. I mean, luckily with an E minor arpeggio, you've only got one fretted note to play, which is the fretted E.